Hey guys, Zexis here. Gonna be doing a bit of a different video today. We're gonna be talking about how to get better at Brawlhalla. Now, as you guys can see, I hit 2700 with Bryn this season, which is crazy. Decided to share my knowledge with you guys on how to improve at this game. If you guys enjoy this video, please hit that like button, that sub button. Check out the Twitch and Discord links down below. Also, there's going to be some games in the background, some 2v2 games, some 1v1 games, just random stuff that I recorded the other day. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Alright, tip number 1. Pretty obvious, but play the game a lot. Obviously, the more you play the game, the more you're going to learn about it. However, it is possible to play the game too much and burn yourself out. Also, if you're like playing and you're getting tilted, make sure to take a break. If you're starting to play bad and doing stupid stuff because of tilt and you keep playing and you keep doing those stupid things, you're gonna build bad habits, and those bad habits are probably gonna carry over to your next practice session. Alright, tip number 2, when you're practicing this game, have specific goals in mind. It could be specific things like improving spacing, improving a certain aspect in neutral, getting better at reads, something like that. If you're focusing on a single aspect or two aspects or something of the game to get better at, you're gonna notice a lot more improvement probably, because you're gonna realize that you're actually doing those two things or one thing better. If you're looking at the whole game, it's a little bit harder sometimes to notice improvement. At least I find that with myself. If I want to be like getting better at something, I have to focus on just that one thing, and then it will become like autopilot. You're gonna become good enough at it that you can just not think about it too much and it will just happen. Alright, tip number 3, you guys have probably heard this one a lot, but it's super true. Care more about improving rather than winning. When you play the game and you're focusing on improving, the elo will come naturally as you get better, so you'll actually like see that improvement. If you're just focusing and like, hey, I need this elo, man, and you like lose a game, so you get super annoyed, not gonna be good for your mental health and it's not really gonna help you get better. So this one's super important. I really recommend you at least try to think about it this way. I know like I get annoyed sometimes when I lose a game. It happens, but for the most part I've gotten pretty good about it, and I think it will help you guys a lot if you try to as well. Alrighty, next tip, number 4. Play against people better than you. So this one you've probably also heard a lot, also pretty good one to go by. If you're playing people better than you, if you ask them questions, they're gonna probably be able to help you, especially if they're quite experienced with the game. When you're doing this though, if you always play against that same person, you're probably gonna get pretty good against that one person. There's a pretty good chance in that. So make sure you mix up who you practice against if you're doing this as well. That way you're going to be playing different matchups, you're going to be playing against different playstyles, people who main different legends, that sort of thing, so you can be a better, well-rounded player. Number 5, use training mode. So training mode is obviously there for a reason. It's to train. You can use training mode for so many things. You can literally work on whatever in training mode. You can see the hitboxes, the frame data, all that stuff. You can use it to work on combos you're uncomfortable with and finding optimal reads as well. You could practice your soft reads or hard reads. For those people that don't know the difference between those two, a soft read would be a move that's going to cover a lot of different dodges, but it's probably not optimal, so you'll have a better chance of hitting them, but you won't be hurting them as much, won't be doing as much damage. A hard read is something that is like optimal. If you get that dodge read, they are getting destroyed. So you can learn the different reads for your characters in training mode. Definitely a good one to do. You can learn how the SIGs for your legend go into the certain strings, that sort of stuff. I highly recommend using it at least a little bit. Tip number 6, watch high level play. Watch tournaments, see what the top level players do differently than you do. If possible, watch someone who plays your specific character. For example, I used to watch a lot of Isidru. You can see what that person, what that high level player does with the signatures, how they use it, the signatures in certain strings for reads, that sort of thing. You will actually learn quite a lot. Tip number 7 is watch your own replays. Analyze them. When you realize something you're doing wrong, don't be that guy that's gonna be like, oh man, why did I do that? That was so stupid. Obviously, something was going through your mind at that point and it kinda made sense. But if you do find something wrong in your gameplay, find a solution to it. Think about what you could do instead of the thing that was making you lose. This sort of thought process is going to be way more beneficial to you, and you're going to improve a lot faster if you're thinking about the game in this way. Tip number 8 is play in tournaments. Tournament sets are way different than ranked gameplay. When you're playing a tournament set, you have way more time to adapt to your opponent, they have time to adapt to you, because it's a best of 3 set. It's not just one game anymore. Also, people are usually way more nervous in tournaments than they are in ranked. They're wanting to do really well in the tournament, and if you can get past your tournament nerves early on in your career, it's gonna help you a ton. I personally get tournament nerves like crazy because I don't have the opportunity to play in them all the time due to work, all that sort of stuff, and it's something I really wish I could do, because I'll get to like a certain point in the tournament playing against someone I usually beat, and I just start doing dumb things, like just stuff that's not smart. So playing in tournaments is definitely gonna be a really good way to improve. Tip number 9 is play as the character you are struggling against, or the weapon you're struggling against. When you do this, realize how people are playing against you. See what works for them, and if you can do this, you should be able to apply that knowledge for when you play against that character or weapon next. This doesn't have to just be for characters or weapons, I guess, either. For example, it could be a playstyle. A lot of people complain about parry playstyles, for example. So if you try playing parry for a bit, I know this sounds gross, but if you try playing like that, you'll quickly realize that people will bait you out. So you'll throw out a move and then they'll punish you for it, even though you're playing parry. It's part of the game. That's footsies, that's fighting games. If you think about the game that way, instead of complaining about the character, the weapon, or the playstyle, and you think about ways to work around it and beat it, you're gonna improve so much quicker. Alright, tip number 10. Trying to adapt mid-game. Now this seems obvious, but I still go against people that dodge the same way every time, even if I'm punishing it, and it seems like they don't even notice it. Other things like realizing what your opponent does when you approach. For example, if I'm playing Axe and I'm approaching them and they jump away every time, then I could maybe do a Axe D-Light. Or if I'm going near them and they spot dodge every time and I'm getting punished, the next time I can go and use a really long active frame move, or I can wait out their spot dodge and get a free punish. Stuff like this is where the mind games really start to come into Brawlhalla, and it's really important. If you can get good at this aspect early on, it's gonna be super helpful. And I'm even still working on this sort of thing. Like sometimes I'll not notice that I'm doing something dumb mid-game, or I won't notice that they're doing a certain thing. If you can do this, you're gonna win a lot more games. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully some of these tips helped you. If they did, let me know in the comments. If you have any other tips for people, leave them down in the comments as well so they can improve. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Peace out.